Hi, welcome back to the channel. Before I start, please feel free to like and subscribe if you find the content of this channel to your liking. Today we're going to review my SINN EZM 13. This watch I've how long have I had it now? About 4.5 years. Actually ordered the watch when they first said they were going to release it, and they put out their first press pictures. Now I've actually got number 26. Turns out the first 10 stay at the company and then they start distributing them to the suppliers. So this literally is one of the very first ones. And I say I'm lucky enough, I've had this now 4.5 years with no problems at all. The EZM 13 is part of their mission timer range. Normally each watch is designed for a certain purpose, and this watch here is a diver's watch. Now, considering it's only 41mm and quite a substantial 15mm tall, 20mm lug width, it has a whopping 500 meters water resistance, which is quite a decent size for a watch this size. It's full of SINN's tech, but saying that, first I suppose the movement. The movement is SINN's SZ02. So 25 joule beats at 28,800 oscillations per hour, anti-magnetic, and is basically a variation of a Valjoux 7750. Not everyone is a fan of that watch movement. I love it. I think it is one of a, a legend, really. And I love the fact, love it or hate it, you probably can't hear that, but you can actually hear and feel the rotor moving in the back. I do like when you can tell it's a mechanical watch, when you can, these little things. Some people like, some people don't. Anyway, so it has about 48 hours power reserve. Now this watch, in typical SINN fashion, is packed with tech. It has the Ar-Dehumidifying system, indicated by the AR on the dial. That's a 3-part system. First part is the seals that SINN use. SINN actually use these EDR seals, which are supposed to be I think about 75% more efficient than normal rubber seals. And second part, as you may have seen before, we have the copper sulfite capsule in the side air, actually housed behind a little sapphire crystal, and depending on the color will actually indicate to you how much moisture is actually in the watch, because at the end of the day air has moisture in there, and that slowly degrades the oils inside the watch. Third and final part is the watch where it says AR, it actually has argon gas inside, no oxygen, because obviously moisture is in oxygen and lesser so in AR gas. So that's one of the techs. Second tech is it's low pressure tested. Now, not everyone knows this, but basically when the pressure inside the watch differs to the pressure outside the watch, if it's higher or lower, you can have possibilities where the crystal can pop off, which obviously is not ideal, to say the least. And this watch is protected against that. Also, the use of special oils inside this mean the watch can actually take -45 to -45 centigrade to +80 centigrade and still stay in its perfect timekeeping. So, actually it also has the D-free pusher system, also featured on the U1000. And what this actually allows is for use of the pushers to be used underwater. A lot of chronos, to prevent this feature, have like a screw system to stop you from pressing it. You find that on some Breitlings and on the Rolex Daytona, so you don't accidentally press, because what can happen if you press it, obviously you've got moving parts and there's a possibility the water can get in as you press it. So this system actually allows for the pushers to be used underwater all the way down to its depth rating of 500 meters, which is pretty impressive. Another feature as well is its bezel has an aluminium insert, a luminous pip, obviously being a diver's watch for 12 o'clock, fully marked all the way around. To be fair, there is a little bit of play, but it's a very positive 60 click. It's okay. I'm not going to say, you know, in comparison to some watches, you know, it's it's definitely not the best, but it's quite nice. Not as good as my firm favourite, the UX from Sinn, but it's a nice satisfying click and lines up perfectly. But there is a little bit of play, but it does also have their captive bezel system. I've said it before, if you are to knock your watch against a door, or if you are diving, I don't know, whatever you find when you're diving, coral or something like that, you can force the bezel off, and nobody wants that. This actually has a ring system around the inside which fits into a channel, and using these screws at the 4, 6 and 8 position, you actually press that seal in, the ring into its groove, so it protects it. I've actually done a video before on where I remove the Sinn UX and U2 bezel, and it's worth watching if you actually want to know more about that feature. So it is quite a heavy watch. It weighs in at, I believe, sized up for my wrist, 18 centimeters, which is a fraction over 7 inches. It weighs in at a whopping 185 grams. Now, that doesn't sound much to many people, but what it means is, put it into context, my Rolex Kermit weighs 135 grams, my Batman weighs about 150, so it's quite a substantial heavy watch. Now, one of the features on this watch, obviously, but it's a chrono, is the chrono readout here. Now, on normal 7750 movements, you tend to have 3 subdials. One for the moving seconds, your current seconds. Then the center second hand is for the chrono. One is the minute and one is the hours. And to be fair, they're not the quickest and easiest to read at a glance. This watch, on the other hand, has this large subdial at the bottom here. If I just pull that out, you get a better shot of it here. If I move the, let's see, if I just move that across there so you've got a better view of it. There we go, just screw the crown back in. It obviously is a screw down crown, being a dive watch. So you can see the large subdial there. And that is a 60-minute counter. So it's quite easy to read. It's an instantaneous turnover from minute to minute. And it's how Sinn have modified, but I think it looks quite tasteful. On the 3 o'clock position, there is a very light grey subdial, really does blend into the background, and that is the normal seconds for your normal time. Obviously, I've just stopped the chrono. The pushers, being a Sinn, are on the left-hand side. Reason being is that a lot of their military people say they do not want the pushers on that side because it interferes when they're wearing gloves. So Sinn tend to put them on this side. And it's a nice positive feel. It's lighter than the U1000 because the simple fact is, if you press it and you're at 500 meters, it has to have enough power to come out. back to the original position where the U1000 is quite stiff, but that has to accommodate with 1000 meters of pressure. So I like the fact that I say with that subdial at 3 o'clock, they have kind of hidden it. So you don't really read it, you just read this. Next things to think about, the bracelet is their typical H-style bracelet, solid end links. The whole watch is steel and bead blasted. Reason being, so you don't want a watch designed for any military personnel which is super shiny and can reflect for obvious reasons. The bracelet is a step up from my EZM1 and 2. It's a little bit thicker and it houses the hex bolt system for removing links, and it's ever such an easy system, really nice. All ZINN watches which have this come with a little set of Allen keys, and they also have some Loctite that you can actually put on there once you've sized it. And diver link extension, very tight to be fair, very tight diver link extension. You have 3 positions of adjustment on the clasp. The back of the case back is a solid case back indicating the model number EZM13, the anti-magnetic, water resistant to 50 bar, stainless steel, and the serial number. So press it, dive link extension clicks back in very solid. I believe it's a nickel free back, so you've got no problems with any if you're allergic to any allergic reactions. If I center the seconds now, so let's see, all returns nicely back to 12 o'clock. I'll put the watch on, quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Laco Archon, which I've been wearing since I got the watch last week. I'm trying it on a NATO strap, which I quite like. I'll do a review of that next week. So on my wrist, there you go, that's the 13. The lume isn't so bad on this watch. It's acceptable, it's not amazing, but it's good enough. I like on the end of the hands, I do like the pointer, because you really can set this watch perfectly to the hour, to the minute marker. It lines up perfectly, and it's really easy to get to set the time perfectly. If I had to give it any negatives, and I do like my ZINNs, but I'm honest. The markers here, if I just do this, the dial where they have the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why? You just don't need them. I wish they'd gone the same way as the ZINN EZM 3F and simply remove those marks on there. There's no need to have them. I'm pretty certain if you own this kind of watch, you can tell the time and know that is 1 without actually having to need a number there. Because the dial is relatively small, it's a small watch, if you were to remove them, I think it would look a lot better. So, personal gripe. The clasp. Now, I've said this before on other ZINNs. I think the clasp is okay. There's nothing actually wrong with the clasp. You've got to fold over center. It does its job. I can't really, it does its job. But that's it. I would love to see a milled clasp, like on some of the new Rolexes. I just think it would look so much better. I know it would add more cost to the watch. Being that this watch now, I believe in the UK, is a little bit higher than the Euro price in Germany. It's about £2,550 on this bracelet. In Germany, if you go over there, you can get it a little bit cheaper. But that's if I'm really being, having a niggle about the watch. I would say it's the clasp and that. And actually, while I'm at it, and it happens on quite a few watches, this isn't the only one. You have this very nice chamfered edge here, and then you have this rounded end link here. Just a shame that didn't carry on across. I'm being super picky, but I like to be honest with you guys, and that's the way I see it. So overall, I do like the watch. It's a really nice watch. I say I've had it for many years. You can get it on the silicone bracelet, but I would say with the silicone bracelet, I feel it would be a bit top heavy. With the bracelet, it works quite nicely because you've got a nice thick chunky bracelet going all the way around. Without the bracelet, I believe it's only 98 grams, but it really does add up some weight on this bracelet. But I think it's a nice, a chrono at 40 mil, at 41 mil is quite nice. Normally chronos tend to be a lot bigger because you have so much dial space. If you were to have 3 sub-dials on there, it would make for a very busy dial. So I think it works actually quite well. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe if you do, because it makes me want to do more videos when I actually see the more subscribers. And please feel free to ask me any questions. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. I'm not, I know for a fact I don't know everything about watches. I am just a normal guy. So if I've said something wrong in a video, please feel free to tell me. I won't take offense. Okay, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.